This video is brought to you by Green Man Gaming. Stick around to learn about some incredible deals on some incredible games. Have you ever been playing a game that you've been really enjoying, but then it gets to a point where you think it's ending, and then you realize you've been playing for another 5 hours and you just kind of like, okay, you've made your point, game, you can end now, you can stop, okay, I've had my fun, please stop. There are a lot of games like this that just don't respect your time. Now, I'm not saying a lot of these games are bad games, it's just they don't know when to stop. And I wanted to talk about some of them today. Some games that I really think just drag their feet and just take the absolute piss to get through. Again, this is personal opinion. If you have some that you want to talk about, then let me know down in the comments. But anyway, I'm going to start with Yakuza 5. Now, if you're familiar with the Yakuza series, you already know why this one's on the list. It is the longest Yakuza game within the real-time beat-em-up style gameplay. I'm not including the Like a Dragon games, although they also do drag their feet a bit, but I wouldn't say as much as Yakuza 5. Yakuza 5 has you playing as 5 different characters, and I'm gonna be honest, some of those sections could just be taken out altogether. A lot of it is just kind of filler, it feels like filler crap. Even Shinada, right? I love Shinada. He is one of my favorite characters in the entire series, but I feel like the story would work without him. Having you play as him near the end, another 10-hour section where you have to go through 4 or 5 chapters playing through as him, is pretty insane. That's the problem with Yakuza 5. All 5 of these characters feel like their own games, which, sounds great. It's like, oh my god, that's so much content, but too much of a good thing can be a bad thing sometimes. A lot of people online determine a game's worth by the length of it. I know Resident Evil Requiem got a lot of shit when it came out because it was 8 hours long, but that's a good thing. Short games are a good thing. Games don't need to take a decade to play through, and Yakuza 5 takes a decade to play through. If you're going through the series game by game, you're gonna struggle with Yakuza 5. Yakuza 5 will probably burn you out. I do prefer it over the 4th game, but I cannot deny that it drags its feet completely. It doesn't help as well that each character has their own filler gimmick side mode that just takes the absolute piss. Like Kiryu, for example, he can be a taxi driver in that game, and there's an entire game mode with taxi racing, which I actually did complete for some reason. It was pretty fun, I can't deny. Saejima is the worst offender. He has this whole hunting minigame, which is just janky, it's clunky, and you have to play through it to progress with the story, like a tutorial section, and it is just miserable. Haruka's entire section is just a gimmick. It's just a rhythm minigame. You're taken away from the fighting gameplay that Yakuza's known for to do rhythm shit. I mean, it's a pretty nice pace breaker, but again, her section's only 2 chapters, but it drags its feet. There's only 3 songs that you can do, and by the end of it, you're like, holy fuck, can we just move on? Again, Shinada's is my favorite chapter in the game, but it does kind of feel a bit like a filler chapter. But yeah, Yakuza 5, it doesn't need to be that long. It is way too ambitious for its own good. I still really like it, but yeah, it outstays its welcome. The next game I want to talk about is Resident Evil 6. Resident Evil 6 has a similar issue to Yakuza 5, where it just adds so many playable characters into it, with so many different campaigns, that it just doesn't make sense. It's just so long. Right, okay, hear me out. I like Resident Evil 6. I'm one of the few people that think Resident Evil 6 is better than Resident Evil 5, but I cannot deny some of these campaigns in this game don't need to exist, alright? They have a lot of crossover where you're going through the same areas. Hell, you even encounter the same playable characters that you were playing in the previous campaign, and back in the day, they could be actual players playing through, which is actually kind of ahead of its time. It was a cool feature, but it doesn't take away from the fact that you're doing a lot of samey stuff within these campaigns, and it's not like the story's worth going through to experience them. It's a Resident Evil story. I don't think any of the stories have been that good in Resident Evil, apart from Resident Evil 7, which is very much a game that's kind of taken away from the whole narrative with Spencer and Wesker and kind of feels like its own thing, which was desperately needed, I'm not gonna lie. It also doesn't help as well that it's a Resident Evil game. I know it's one of the more action-focused ones, but you kind of see and do everything about halfway through the second campaign you play through. It just doesn't do anything new or special, and yeah, it's just kind of boring. It outstays its welcome about 8 hours in, which should be the length of any Resident Evil game. If it goes beyond 10 hours on a first time playthrough, then it's going on for way too long, even if it's an action focused one. And yeah, Resident Evil 6, way too long of a game, but I still like it. I still like it very much. I still love you, Resident Evil 6. You're such a silly, fun co-op game. The next game I want to talk about is The Evil Within 1. I've probably shocked so many of you, but listen, The Evil Within, it is not immune to criticism, okay? I love this game, but it has a lot of flaws, I can't lie. And chapter 11 onwards, when you're in the city, it drags, let me tell you. It is probably one of the least interesting areas in the game. Like, beforehand you were going from a mental asylum to this broken ruin in chapter 6 to a catacombs to a cave to a mansion. You know, you're going all over the place. There's so much variety to the areas, but when you get to the city, it's just, oh, you're in the city, oh, you're in like a construction site, oh, now you're on a bus, and now you're in an apartment block. It's like, wow, okay, it's just not very interesting. I can't deny though, chapter 14 in the subway tunnel, that feels kind of refreshing. It's a filler chapter. There's no narrative to it. It's literally just a chapter to get you from where you are to the finale at Beacon Mental Hospital. But aside from that, chapter 11 to chapter 13, it's just, it kind of loses the fun factor a bit, like the mystery and the enjoyment factor. And on replays for me, I kind of dread those sections. I don't know, they're not the most fun. I still have fun with them, but by that point in the game, it kind of feels like they're running out of steam a bit. And yeah, I'm sorry, The Evil Within, but I had to include you in this. I do love you either way though. You're the best game ever made, despite the fact you outstay your welcome a few times. The next game I want to talk about is Alice Madness Returns. Now, I originally didn't like this game because I just didn't understand it, but after pushing through it, I ended up falling in love with it. It's a brilliant game. I absolutely love it. I like that South of Midnight is heavily inspired by the gameplay of Alice Madness Returns, and I want to see more games like it, but I don't want to see games as long as Alice Madness Returns. Now, it's like a 10 to 12 hour game, but it feels way longer than that for some reason. I don't know, it just drags. The bit where you go to like the Japanese area, that's the point where it feels like, all right, time to wrap it up, fellas. It's kind of dragging its feet a bit. I've seen everything that you can show me, and it gets kind of boring. I can't deny though, the environments look amazing regardless going through them, but by that point, I get a bit burnt out playing it. There's not enough variety in the gameplay to warrant the game being that long. I can't deny though, the castle bit just before the dollhouse is really good, and the dollhouse area is also very good. It is extremely creepy. I'm creeped out by dolls, as you probably already know, so I was freaked out going through there, but again, they just go on way too long. There's some sliding block puzzles as well in the dollhouse area, which just piss me off. Sliding block puzzles that should be banned from games. I fucking hate them. They are so annoying. It's just trial and error. There's no like strategy to sliding block puzzles. They don't need to exist. It's just trial and error. It's still a good game. I just think, you know, they could probably cut off quite a lot of the game and it would be a better experience because it just goes on for way too long. The next game I want to talk about, and the final game I want to talk about, is Metal Gear Solid 5. If you were around when this game came out, you already know why I think this game drags on too long. And it's not because of the gameplay getting boring or anything like that. Metal Gear Solid 5 has incredible gameplay. It has insane replayability. The amount of options you have tackling enemy camps and stuff is just insane. But the problem is Act 2. And if you don't already know, this game had a bit of turbulence between Konami and Kojima, and I think they sacked Kojima near the end of making this game, so it isn't finished, and Act 2 is an incomplete project. And to pad out the game time to let you see the ending, you have to replay chapters from Act 1 with some like modifier challenge. Sometimes that challenge just being, it's harder. And it's just boring. Like I don't really know what else to say really. It's just tedious, it's miserable, and it just makes you sad because it makes you realize that Metal Gear Solid 5 doesn't reach its full potential and Konami weren't absolute pricks to Hideo Kojima. Luckily Konami are on their redemption arc now and Kojima's doing pretty well on his own with Death Stranding and stuff, but yeah, back then it was dark times for Metal Gear Solid fans. There's honestly, if you're playing Metal Gear Solid 5 and you get to Act 2, just stop playing there and then. You don't need to see the ending. The ending's actually quite underwhelming, so yeah, it outstays its welcome for artificial, shitty reasons, despite the fact it's an incredible game and it's such a shame that it doesn't reach its potential. If you made it to this point in the video, you know the drill by now. This is the part where I talk about Green Man Gaming. It's an incredible storefront where you can buy almost every single Steam game under the sun for a discounted price, a very good price, I must admit. And they also do deals on upcoming games that aren't even out yet. They do like up to 20% discounts on games that haven't even come out yet, which is pretty insane if you think about it. Like, who allows this? Is this even allowed? Like, is this even legal? I don't understand. But yeah, click the link below if you want to see some incredible deals on some incredible games. I highly recommend checking out. If you want to play games on a budget and you have a PC, you know, you can get literally anything on there, and almost everything is on sale pretty frequently. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and this video wouldn't have been possible without my Patreon supporters. That being Finn Trashboat, a brand new Patreon supporter, welcome. I hope you're enjoying my videos. Nintendo Pro, Profit, Pitstab, Bouncer Storm Productions, and Daniel Levchenko. And a huge thank you to my channel members, that being Swanky Pants 677, amazing name, Adriel Low Young 8770, I think I said that right. Again, correct me if I said that wrong. Mr. Salsa 2053, J Rash, Shake the Heavens, Imdiskinserted, I'll get that right one day, I swear. NCR 8111, Courtney Williams DR9TB, Zello 007, On The Go Gaming 109, Bat DX, Zombify or Die, Ateria Sigma, Cheezer 9530, Rec 12748, Quack 29, Randomness 7550, Plates Fly 8362, Liam Talks About, Chowder 1326, Marshallow 4566, Marcus Platts, Joshua Whitford 5509, Evan Underhill 2342, Bidu Fadoom, Gabriel Padro 5589, Scary 1407, Eggy 613, Riff King 66, Andreas Stewart 8871, Galaxy 11243, Glosky 36, Floaty 38, The Slopped Hog Within. What the fuck kind of name is that? What the hell? L Hayes 117, also known as some balding guy rambling into the void, Griefgar, and Resistance Lion. This channel, it wouldn't be possible without you guys supporting me. Genuinely, I really appreciate it. I hope you're enjoying the content. I hope I'm making it worthwhile being a channel member, and I will hopefully see you all in the next video.